Hello everyone, this is Nowrid and welcome to this special video episode. We all know that COVID-19 put the whole world in a crisis and it's no different in Bangladesh. But even in this crisis, an initiative called Mission Save Bangladesh already helped almost 5,000 families with grocery and 12,000 people have got food to eat. And how all of this happened, so let's know this inspiring story. And to tell this in story, I have a special guest. Guys, let me introduce Mr. Tajdin Hassan. He is the head of marketing of Daily Star, and he's also a global public speaker and also one of the initiator of this Mission Save Bangladesh. But the best part is today he's not going to talk about himself. He's going to talk more about how they have spread this kindness among the society. So Tazdin bhai, how are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Nori, for the invitation. Just trying to be as good as possible, staying at home.
Yeah, it's really
So,
good to see you after a long time.
yeah, same here. How are things at Malaysia?
It's getting better.
Mm-hmm.
The movement control order has been lifted from May 4, but still it's a mixed feeling because unless you
Mm-hmm.
go back to the normal life, you don't know how good or bad it is because the second wave might hit or might not hit. So unless we go through that experience, it is very hard to say. Still, it's a mixed feeling, but it's always good to be normal, right?
Yeah, yeah. And all the best to you and your people around. I believe you'll overcome this very soon.
Yeah, sure. So, Tazim bhai, I remember we had a chat about leadership. So that question actually comes from that point of view. So I'd like to ask you personally that it
Mm-hmm.
takes a lot of courage to take such initiatives, especially when you are in this kind of crisis, when people are afraid to go out of the house, right? So what
Yeah.
inspired you to start this initiative? What inspired you personally to take that initiative?
Okay. Thanks for the question, Nori. I think there are two perspectives that actually there are two thoughts behind this inspiration actually which made me take this decision to involve with this mission set Bangladesh. Number one is very much obvious. I think we are human beings. So when we say we are human being, so in Islam we said we are the best creation of God. So why we are the best creation of God? I think because we are best creation of God because we have empathy for the people who are around us because we think of the people who are around us who are suffering because we like to coexist, we like to live with each other with peace and harmony, and this is how the human beings are being described or are being considered as the best creation of God. And now if I say it, I am human, so as a human, this is my first and foremost responsibility to stand by other human beings
True.
when they are suffering. So I think this is the most underlying factor that actually inspire me or motivate me to get myself involved with this initiative called Mission Save Bangladesh.
Okay.
However, as you know, I'm working in the leading English daily of the country, the Daily Star. Because of my role and because of the nature of my role, I have been associated with a lot of youth and civic engagement projects from the very beginning for the last 5 or 6 years. So
Right.
this is not something that I'm doing for the first time but definitely the time is different, the context is different. I was
True.
doing in a very structured environment, in a very structured manner, where I know this is the problem or this is the issue. I know this is where the solution is coming from. But here, if I consider the COVID-19, this kind of problem, in fact, in my entire life, I haven't seen before. Maybe my
True.
grandfather or my father has seen those kind of situation. Even in economic recession, I was not hit by that much hard by that. Globally,
True.
maybe that was impact, but considering the country I'm living in, I think this is something I have experienced for the first time in my entire life. So the problem is different, the context is different. So here, definitely, I believe the factor or the word that we most of the time we people who are working in this sort of position in media or in corporate, we always say about leadership. As you also mentioned about that word leadership, I believe leadership is your leadership capability is tested during a time which is not favorable sometimes. So
Right.
in a favorable environment, it is very easy to exercise your leadership skill. But when the environment becomes bit adverse, I think that is a time when you have the opportunity to portray or test your leadership skill. So I think COVID-19, yes, it's a crisis moment, but that's personally has given me an opportunity to actually exercise my leadership skill, which I have been, I have been involved in so many projects for the last couple of years in civic and youth engagement, doing things for the society, for women empowerment, for ensuring, you can say, social equality. So from Daily Star, we are involved with so many projects. But this time, I think a leadership during crisis time is something that I got the opportunity to work on. And I think these two factors, like we are human being and leadership during crisis time. So this is an opportunity to, know yourself better, whether you are a good leader or not, because this is a leadership which sometimes is not coming from the textbook. This is something which is coming, how actually you react, how actually you respond to the crisis. So these are the two things which actually inspired me to, to launch the project Mission Save Bangladesh.
So if I sum it up, I can say like the humanity and your instinctive leadership actually push you to take that kind of decision, right?
Yeah. If you ask the question particularly to me, definitely yes. I think this is all true because this is actually a teamwork. We'll be discussing in details later on. Basically, this is an initiative of 3 organizations and so many people. I just had played my tiny little role here, but I think definitely for me personally, these 2 factors actually inspired me.
As you mentioned about the other companies, actually, I was about to ask you that question. That I understand that this is the initiative is spearheaded by the Daily Star, Sheba XYZ, and the Daily Shomokal initially. So, can you tell me that how it's actually happened and the initial goal behind it? Because as you said, I completely agree with it. No one was ready for COVID-19. And no one was expecting that this is something going to happen and we might see this kind of scenario. So what was the initial goal behind it? I'm sure it wasn't really that big, like the way we are seeing it right now. So what was the initial motivation or goal behind it?
How you're absolutely
come together.
You're absolutely right, Nowrid. When we started, we never thought that the scope will become much bigger. The project will grow this wider. So what happened, it started with a very interesting story. So when our government has decided that we'll be going for lockdown within next 3 or 4 days, I was thinking to donate an amount for the marginalized families living in Bangladesh. So what happened, one fine morning, there was a report that got published from my newspaper that in southern part of the country, there were some marginalized people who used to know as a rickshaw puller, who earned their bread and butter by pulling rickshaw on the streets. They were highly concerned about their daily earning because they were saying if people are going to experience the lockdown, there will be no people movement in the road. So their earning is highly correlated with the number of people who are coming out of their home. So, and they are not under any institution that if they have no earning on a daily basis, they are going to get any incentive from any organization. So, and if you ask me, this segment is much higher. Even in Dhaka city, almost 500,000 people are like that. So I was thinking, why not? I donate a portion of my salary to this particular segment of people, and I was just wondering how I can donate that amount to those people, and I was looking for a platform. So, and at that time, it reminded me that why not? I made a phone call to one of my elder brothers in the industry, Mr. Adnan Imtiaz Halim, who is the CEO of Sheba XYZ. Sheba XYZ is an online marketplace who has 200 employees with a full-time 24/7 call center, and along with that, they have more than 50,000 micro SME who are in their online marketplace platform. So I was thinking he might be the right person who can help me to ensure that my money goes to the right person. through his network or leveraging his network. So I made a phone call to him, and he was saying that why not, Tajdin Bhai, why not we created a platform like you? There are so many people. I also received few phone calls uh, from the people in corporates who wants to stand by these marginalized families. So why not we started a platform from which we can give them some credible source? As Daily Star is a 28 years old newspaper, and it is a well-respected newspaper to its community because of the neutral journalism, because of his unbiased way of presenting news to the people, because Daily Star works to uphold the people's right of the Bangladesh. So people have the trust, and people have that belief on Daily Star. And Sheba XYZ is also one of the ICT, Daily Star ICT awardee in 2017. So people have trust on Daily Star and Sheba XYZ. Why not we combinedly launch a platform? We raise the fund, and through my network, through the network of Sheba XYZ, through the volunteer group, and through that SME microfinance group, we reach out those marginalized families and help them. And I said, why not? We should do it. Then I was wondering, why not, as Daily Star is an English newspaper, why not I onboard a Bangla newspaper? Because Bangla newspaper has more readership. And when you have more readership, you have more reach. So then I called one of my younger brother, Imran Kadir, who is the current business development head of the Daily Shomokal, which is also a respected Bangla newspaper in this segment. So I asked him that, Imran, we are going to launch this kind of a platform. Are you with us? Then we three can combinedly start it. And within a second, he said, I'm in. So I just called my editor, Mr. Mahfouz Anam, and he said, Tajdin, if there is a sensitivity of handling fund, but if this is a time, I think we should stand by the people, because we never experienced this kind of time before. It's like I'm experiencing it as he was a freedom fighter. He was saying that I was experiencing this kind of situation after 1971. So I think this is a time we should save the people of Bangladesh. So let's do it, but make sure there will be a lot of transparency in the process. So this is how we three united at the very beginning. Let me add some few more perspective on it. What we did on the very first day, Adnan Bhai from Sheba XYZ, he shortlisted 1,300 addresses of the rickshaw puller. You know, we took the help of the association of some particular area. Like I live in Mirpur, so this is Mirpur DOHS. So there is an association called Mirpur DOHS Association. Like this, we have Bonani and Gulshan Association, Baridhara DOHS Association. So those association, they are connected with those rickshaw puller who actually, you know, who are allowed to bring out their rickshaws within that particular boundary. So they have that database with them. So what we did, we quickly picked up those 1,300 databases, and we decided we will help these 1,300 people at the very beginning. Like you mentioned, Nowrid, that this has become so bigger, but at the beginning we thought of helping these 1,300 people. So, and why these 1,300 people? Because their information was readily available, and government said that within 3 days we'll be going to lockdown. So we are assuming after 3 days we may not be able to, you know, have a very flexible movement in the road. But at the same time, people movement was getting very much less in the road. So what we did, we need fund. So we launched the platform. We talked with one of the payment gateway service provider, SSL Wireless. And I talk about humanity, Nowrid. They said we are going to make the processing fee 0% for you, because this is a noble cause. This is a noble initiative you're taking. So we made the payment gateway, we made the website, we opened a Facebook page, and we asked people to donate. But as you mentioned, at the very beginning, we were not ready for it. So we decided that why not we made some phone calls to some few corporate houses. Maybe they would be interested to donate the money. So I called 3 to 4 corporate houses personally. And at the same time, Nowrid, if you look at the problem is, it's not like I am getting a rickshaw puller on the road and I'm saying, let's say this is 100 taka or 200 taka, or this is 1 kg rice. You take it and you go back to your family. It's not like that. I have to give him, I have to provide him such solution that will, make him stay at home, because we are dealing with such problem where people have to stay at home. So it's not like just feeding the stomach. At the same time, you have to make people stay at home. So we decided our nature of helping people would be different. We will be helping them by providing food for 10 days. So whatever grocery or food or support they're getting, it has to be for 10 days, because we are going for lockdown for 10 days. And it has to be for their family, because let's say I'm providing food for that person, but the other members of the family is dependent on him. In that case, he has to be got out of the home. So we have to provide food not only for 10 days, but also for their family members. So we created a package of 1,000 taka or 1,000 BDT, which will feed them for 10 days. And at the same time, it will suffice for 4 members of the family. So after calculating that package, we decided we need 13,000 taka, 13 lakh taka to raise this, to cater this demand of this particular segment of people. So we are talking about 1,300 family members. 1,300 family, not the members. So I called, first of all, the managing director of IPDC Finance. This is one of the leading financial institutions of Bangladesh. I called their managing director and I say, Momin Bhai, can IPDC Finance extend help? Not necessarily for 1,300 family, but you can extend help for the 500 family maybe, which amount to 5 lakh taka. He said, Tajdin, count me in, count our organization in. We are going to support 300 family. Then I called Mr. Sabir Nasir Bhai from Shopno. It is the leading retail shops in Bangladesh, retail outlet. And Sabir Bhai said, we are going to help 150 family. Then I called my
actually, I would like to relate one question with it, because I think this question will be more related with this one. As you said, like you just started for like 10 days. But then what I have seen, and I think the whole Bangladesh have seen, that the initiative grew larger and larger. And as you mentioned, there are more brands and foundation in joining in, not only IPDC or ADA or Shopno. I saw even the big news like Shakib Al Hassan Foundation also became the part of such initiative. And we know like Shakib Al Hassan is kind of like an international figure, right? So how I mean, you're saying that how did your team managing it? But I believe it wasn't easy, only for you. So how you, the whole team, managed to pull it, and how you guys make it happen, and how you guys help more people, like, because initially the plan was for only 1,300 people, right? So the Shopno join in, the IPDC join in, but then how it happened, then that's what I would like to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So after Shopto and IPDC, we got support from one agency, and within 2 days, Nowrid, we raised double the amount that we are actually planning to raise. So we are planning to raise money for 1,300 people, 1,300 family, but we raised it for 2,500 families. So how it happened is very simple. We created a Facebook page, and this is really, Nowrid, you would be very much interested and you'd be very happy, I know, because you are so much active in LinkedIn, in social media. Like you have set a trend how we can leverage and how we can utilize the social media. And you would be very happy that we have utilized Facebook for a great noble cause. When I posted in Facebook that we have raised 13 lakh from 3 or 4, 5 brands, then all the brands started to call us. Can we join this journey? Can we be a part of this? So it was basically the power of social media and storytelling that we started to do. Then people see, if there was no Facebook, just imagine there was no Facebook.
Exactly.
How could I reach 104 brands that are associated with this initiative? When we started posting this all in Facebook and people started to donate money and all the corporates started to join in, there was a person called Chishti Bhai who actually worked with Shakib Al Hassan and all the mainstream celebrities. So Chishti Bhai actually reached out to me through Salma Adil Bhabi. She runs an Adil Foundation, that they were watching, they were following Mission Save Bangladesh very closely. And Saqib was also thinking, sitting in US, that this is the time I should stand by my people because my country people are suffering. And Saqib thought about this is the time I should give back to the society. So he was thinking to launch Saqib Hassan Foundation, from where he will be working in some areas like education, health, women empowerment, and sports, and this kind of crisis management. So Chishti Bhai, he reached out to me and said, we are launching Saqib Hassan Foundation, and we are watching you people are doing an amazing job, and you have onboarded few leading corporate brands. So we are thinking about why not we join hands, Saqib Hassan, with you and raise money for it. So this is where it started. So basically, Nowrid, if I really say what are the pivotal factors that attributed to this is, I think the trust of the people, trust of Daily Star, trust of Mission Save Bangladesh, and the second thing is how transparent you are. Every day, we make a dynamic financial leaderboard, the fundraising leaderboard, which will tell how many corporate donors are giving money, how many people are donating, what's the amount we are raising every day. And in between, we onboard Ernst & Young. This is one of the big four globally who does consulting and auditing. So Ernst & Young has joined us, and they will be doing the financial audit and will make the report public. So after the COVID-19 is over, hopefully. So these kind of factors actually give people a sense of trust, a sense of belongingness. So, then Saqib Hassan joined with the noble cause with us.
Actually, this story reminds me of something, because you said it earlier that every crisis brings the opportunity. So it's like you're looking for a platform where you can donate, and you're not sure where to donate. I think it happens with every brand, and they all came to Mission Save Bangladesh because you have already created that platform, and it also same goes for the Saqib Hassan Foundation as well. I think it's a great example of like, I mean, the crisis is not only a crisis, sometimes it can be an opportunity as well. But as you're mentioning all the good stuff, Tajdin Bhai, that how it happened with just a call and with a good intention from every individual and brand. But from my experience, because as I'm from Bangladesh and I also worked in Bangladesh, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that smooth always. It was challenging. So I would like to discuss about the challenges. So how challenging was it? I mean, what obstacles did you overcome to reach this point? Definitely you have overcome a lot of problems, but can you just share with us a little problems, what you have faced and you overcome, and how you have made sure the operation operation continues and provide the help in such a great manner to the community? Because it's a matter of like supply and chain, because it's not only about taking money, it's also buying the groceries, buying the foods, and providing to the people who needs it. So how this whole thing happen, and what are the challenges you guys have faced?
Definitely. Nowrid, simple, I think it's a global challenge, we all know. But when you cascade it down, this challenge at the country level, our challenge is more unique, because if you look at the population size and the density of population, we're a highly density populated country. And the problem COVID-19 is representing is that the only solution is by maintaining the social distance. Right. So we got a bigger challenge, because when you got a densely populated country, social distancing sometimes has become a myth. And when you have, there are 6 crore of people who are working in informal sector. They don't have any association behind that. So when we are talking about, COVID-19, the economic recession, how come a person can be at home when he or she saw his family without any food, when he saw his kids or children without any food? So for us, the challenge is a very unique one. Now, if I break down these challenges in separate components, I think it started with the fundraising, number one, trust of the people. It started with the logistics challenge, how you outsource the food, and then how you distribute in separate parts of Dhaka and outside Dhaka, separate parts of the country. Number 3 is volunteer, how you actually encourage the volunteer to get out of their home, considering the challenge that they might get affected by COVID-19. Then I think the 4th challenge, you can say, how you rectify or how you verify the people who are getting the support are the right people. Because at the end of the day, as I say, human beings are the best creation of God. Sometimes we are well known for manipulation. We are the greatest manipulator as well. So how actually you face that challenges? So, and last but not the least, I think the total supply chain, because starting from fundraise to outsourcing the food to distributing and make sure the right person is getting it, the total monitoring is a bigger challenge. So if I consider these 5 or 6 challenges, it was not a very easy job to do. However, the question is, how have we done it? So I think there are a few things. I think it is very I think this is an opportunity for the youth to learn from this platform also, how we actually face that, how we actually combat that. The number one, I think the important thing is going very detail of the problem, attention to details, I would rather say. Problem identification in a very true sense is the most important part of this, combating this challenge or overcoming this challenge. So the problem is not that people are hungry. Problem was not that we need to reach out to that marginalized family. Problem was we need to make sure these people are maintaining social distance. Problem was we have to make sure their family don't come out of their home. So that was the fundamental problem. So to keeping that the characteristics in mind, we designed the product. What was that? Like I mentioned earlier, the product, the service that we're designing, that should be for 10 days, that should be for 4 people, so that it initially solve the major problem, which it will make people stay at home. They don't come out of their home. Number one. Then number two is that how actually you are going to purchase that item, how you are going to raise the fund. And I have covered that part also. I think it's more of a social responsibility of the brand towards the society. I think I said it in a couple of sessions, is that when I said IPDC, Shopno, when I said Beximco, Square, Grameenphone, Bragg, when I uttered these names, these are not organizations, these are brands. So when a brand become a brand, any organization turns into a brand when it gains the respect and trust of the people. So if you say, Bhaiya, which mobile set you are using, I'm saying Samsung or Apple, because they have gained the trust. They're the trusted brand. I know without any hesitation that I can buy an iPhone because this is a trust. So those trust, that when those people have the trust for their customers, they also at the same time have some accountability to the community. So because community is about the people. And those people are their potential or regular customers. So I think brands, the good brands, the great brands, they become, they're different from other brands by serving that community. So I think that was the, major reason why the brands join us. But at the same time, we, as a thought leader, we as a trusted daily of the country, we as a platform, we need to make that people aware of it. So what we did, we made those brands aware through our Facebook, through personalized phone calls, through email, through our activity, that this is the time you should stand by the people. So this was the second, I think, fundraising challenge we had. And third one is logistics challenge, because you need to carry these items from one outsourcing platform to, to another, to different parts of the country. Here, I like to mention 3 names. Pathao, Paperfly, Truck Kothai. So they joined us. They are the logistic partner. They didn't charge any money from us. They stand by the platform and they make sure the products are moving smoothly from one place to another. At the same time, when the products are moving one place to another, government has, the law enforcement department, they are on the road also, because they're restricting people to get out of their home. So we took the necessary permission from the city corporation, we took the necessary permission from the home ministry, from DMP, so that our logistic can move from one place to another without any hassle. So I think three or four skills that I like to reinforce here for the youth. Number one, your problem solving skill. So before you solve the problem, you have to get very detailed into the problem. It's not like a bird's eye view. Number two is your adaptability skill, because all the meetings that we personally did was on Zoom call or on Facebook Messenger. So now we are using this technology more than before. So you have to adapt with this technology. And number three is leadership skill. That leadership, I think, is not about leadership from the top. I think the people who are working at the grassroots level, the volunteer, sacrificing, compromising the risk factor, though they have maintained all the hygiene factor, but I think they are the leaders. So Nowrid, leadership is all about influencing people. Doesn't matter you have to be the head of marketing or the executive of an organization.
Right.
By being even an executive in an organization, from your position, if you can influence the people around you, if you can influence the cause, then you are a leader. I think those volunteers, those logistic company, all played their leadership part. So I think the leadership skill, adaptability skill, problem solving skill, and finally the teamwork, these four actually made us overcome these challenges that I have mentioned already, the fund, logistics, people, and volunteers.
True, and I completely agree. Like leadership is all about how you act on a problem rather than it's a title. I think most of us think it's a title. When you get the title, you become a leader, but it's not like that. But how you act and react in a particular situation, I think that's what actually defines how you are as a leader. So does it make my next question, as you are talking about, you have overcome those challenges, and I saw a few numbers that how many families have got the groceries and got the food, but it will be great to know from you all the update numbers. And I know not only you are giving the groceries, and also not only you're giving the foods, you're also doing the disinfection, you're providing the mask, and also you're doing some social awareness campaign as well. So would you please share us the number? That's what will be great. And also what else you guys are doing alongside with grocery and food.
Nowrid, so far we have served 25,000 people. We have served 400. We have disinfected 400 plus places, common places. We have distributed 7,000 masks and 250 PPE. And during Ramadan, we have taken few initiatives. But Nowrid, here I'd like to address one thing. I'd like to touch upon one very sensitive thing. See, when we started this for the marginalized family, we saw there are a lot of other NGOs, and the government is also coming forward to help those people. You know, already we have Acta Karahar, Vidyanando, BRAC, who are helping people from the grassroots. Having said that, we figure out another segment of people who are actually not like the marginalized family or not belong to those groups. There are some white-collar, semi-white-collar group of people who lost their jobs. There are some people who belong to some professions who are actually can't do anything amid the challenges right now we have. For example, the musician. As you know, all the concerts are closed now. It's not the vocalist. It's sometimes like the people who work at the backstage, or people who work with the core musician of the stage. They were suffering immensely at that time. So we decided we'll stand by those 80 families, musician families during this crisis time. Then there are sex workers. You'll be very amazed to learn that there are these are the people who are the most ignorant kind of a people in our society, because of definitely the group of people I'm talking about. So there are 80 sex worker family who are deprived of daily necessity. So there was a lady called Hajera Appa. He looked after the kids of the sex worker people. So she got an organization. So she called me up and said, can we extend support to 80 families? So we helped them, 80 families. 192 family who are suffering from cancer. So these are not the elite group of people. These are the lower middle class family who got the cancer treatment from Bangladesh Cancer Trustee Board. So it's called Bangladesh Cancer Trustee Board, and they got the financial support through a hospital for the treatment of cancer. But the problem is that cancer affected family member got food from the hospital, but their family who lives in villages, they come to Dhaka to take care of these patients. As a result, they cannot have their own business and groceries. So for those people, what we did, we collaborate with that trustee board, and we distributed food for those 192 families in 3 hospitals. So Nowrid, this is not only about marginalized family. Later we move to the middle class family, because the problem is, Nowrid, these people are not going to tell you that they are suffering like anything. These people are not going to tell you that we need support. So these are the people who actually will not, this is a social, the stigma, you can say, that they never feel comfortable to share their problem with others. So what we did from Mission Save Bangladesh, through some social media influencer, even one of my former colleague who is now in Germany, he sent me 51 list of the families who lost their job. I got 7 numbers from Canada. One of my former colleagues, he said me that, can you help me those families? And we didn't mention to those families that this help and the groceries are coming from these people. We said we are an association. We are just extending some support during Ramadan. And very interestingly, we helped one teacher. So the help came from Australia, and we give them the support, and we said it comes from your student. He said as a gift for you. Then he received the grocery. In Chittagong, one businessman we called, we know that he doesn't have business, and they were not having food for 4 consecutive days. And they said, we won't take any help. Then we said, sir, we are not giving any help for the business, for the businessman who are suffering right now. This is a gift for them we are giving. So then he accepted. So this is a certain class of group, and the people in the society, Nowrid, who are suffering, but who are not going to tell you that we are suffering. So we are also standing by them as well.
And they're not even enlisted in government list as well to get the help or like anything like that. Yeah,
absolutely, Nowrid.
Yeah. So Tajdin, I remember that I was having a chat with you a few days back, and you were saying like that, the Mission Save Bangladesh has started suddenly, but the impact was really great, and the support you got was really great. So that's why you guys thinking to do something different. And so can you tell us that how, what is the next phase of the operation and growth for Mission Save Bangladesh, or it's just about the COVID-19 crisis and then it will be over?
Okay, so Nowrid, what from different sources and different experts we are learning is that this problem is going to exist. Not only the problem, the impact of this problem is going to influence us for next 18 months or 24 months. So the recovery period would be 2 years from now on. And in a country like Bangladesh, which is mostly dependent on RMG and the remittance, the economic recession, the impact would be more intense than any other country. So the way we are looking at the things that we are going to suffer a lot in coming days. So from where the Mission Save Bangladesh comes is that we are not just we have created this platform, though initially to help these people, but now when it becomes bigger and we talk with more NGOs and more people, and when people say you have become so trusted, why not you turn this platform into a foundation? So we have decided to turn this platform into a foundation in next month. So the paperwork has already started. However, in terms of our next phase of work, we'd like to focus on one particular group, which is SME, the small medium enterprise. What happened, Nowrid, is that this particular group is not going to face the issue right now. They are going to, because all those organizations, small firms, still have some, working capital with them, which they're spending. But when the economy is going to get the hit in next 2 or 3 months, is going to get the hit, they are going to suffer. They are going to experience that. So that's why we have spent like 50 to 60% of the fund. We are keeping the 40% fund to help that SME. But the modality would be different. Like, are we giving them in a form of loan, or are we giving them like a one-off fund, that we are yet to chalk out. The plan is, the white paper is still in progress, but we have already chalked down almost 7,000 SME. But the helping nature is yet to get decided. But that is our next phase, to help the small medium enterprise, because in Sheba we have already 50,000 SMEs. For example, Nowrid, the beauty salon.
Yes.
There is the beauty salon. There are under the they are also enlisted in Sheba platform, and these people are also suffering because they can't open their shop, or they can't go to homes and do the do those services. So we are planning to start with this kind of small medium enterprise in our next phase. So that's the plan.
Okay, great. That sounds really interesting. So, Tajdin bhai, as I mentioned to you, like I'm doing this video because of I have one objective. I don't bother about who watches it, who don't watches it. If anyone watch it, and if one person get motivated to help others in this crisis, or even later in any crisis, I mean, that would be the beauty of this content. So my question to you, that if anyone see this video and if they feel they would like to help, but they don't know where to help and where to give the money, so if they would like to contact with Mission Save Bangladesh or contact you, how they can do that?
Okay, it's a very good question, Nowrid. So we have a Mission Save Bangladesh Facebook page. So you can definitely, if you go to our page, and if you just texted us to Messenger, we'll respond you immediately. Apart from that, we have a call center. So our call center number is also given there in our Facebook page with all the information. So you can call our call center and you can ask for the help. We have given our website name in our Facebook page. If you log into our website, there is a payment gateway. Anyone from local and abroad can pay through the Visa card and MasterCard. And there was few segments over there, like if you want to help one family, two family. So it is very much flexible payment gateway system over there. So I think, Nowrid, I'd like to reinforce and reiterate the fact that it's really, we are spending much of our time right now, or more than ever before, on Facebook and social media. But I really like to express my gratitude towards those innovators who come up with these social media platforms. So we are utilizing or leveraging the social media platforms for now a greater cause, because a person who have a Facebook account but sitting at the remote part of the country is now can reach out to us for help, and we can call them, we can verify them through our local partners, and we are making sure the food is going to at his place. It won't be possible at all considering the traditional media we have. So I think this is the power of social media, and definitely we are very much active. We have a very active. So you would be really glad to know that there are people from, like we said, 104 partners. These are not only the brands, corporates, or NGO. There are digital agencies. There are creative firms. There are freelancers who are making story for us, who are making creative for us, who are working as a digital marketing partner for us, who are answering our Facebook Messenger queries, who are generating tools, who are serving people.
Wow.
So this is an amazing platform, and this is an amazing time we are having, where we are seeing that people are all united. They are not focusing on exclusivity. Like my brand belongs to financial institution. If I am the donor, if I donate here, nobody can donate. No way. This is a platform for the people of Bangladesh. Anybody can come and come up with the idea, can come up with his idea and contribute here. So I think this is how the social media is helping us now to combat this challenge.
So anyone would like to contact, or anyone would like to even help with money, with service, with anything, I think the Facebook should be the first primary platform, and also following by the website has given to your Facebook page, right?
Yep.
All right, so Tajdin bhai, we're almost into our discussion, but I think before I finish the discussion, as you mentioned, and definitely I know Bangladesh is a highly dense populated country, and social distancing is kind of a dream, honestly, for Bangladesh. So, but still we have to be aware. So do you have any suggestion for the audience from Bangladesh or from any part of the world who are especially having this COVID-19 crisis. Do you have any suggestion, any precaution, or anything you'd like to add?
I think, Nowrid, I may not be the right person to suggest the people across the globe, because I think what I can suggest is that we should remain vigilant, but not necessarily you have to be to remain aware of it. You don't need to come out of the home. You have a Facebook account, or you have a website, you have TV at your home. You just watch out, read, you consume content from the trusted dailies, you consume content from the trusted sources, you follow the WHO pages, how they're informing us, how they're updating us, what's going on, what measures we should take. Like in Malaysia, you said that you are going for, you are withdrawing the lockdown, you are restarting the economy, but gradually there are some precautions that you are going to make. For Bangladesh, till now, 5th May is the lockdown. So I'm also organizing a talk show, how social activists across the globe are handling this situation. So in every country, people need to be aware of how their country is approaching towards the problem, what the government is suggesting, what the health ministry, what the law enforcement is suggesting. Can we go out right now out of my home, or if I can get out, from which time to which time I can keep my shops open, when I can go to buy grocery, what are the do's and don'ts. This is very important to understand the do's and don'ts. Remember, these do's and don'ts are coming from a very expert people like WHO or the health ministry, so they know, they are watching. So it's very important you watch out how are things evolving, how are things developing. So far, this is a peak time we are passing in Bangladesh. So basically, my humble suggestion definitely would be remaining at home. However, at the same time, I would like to urge to the people is that Ramadan is going on. So unlike other Ramadans, we are spending less because we are not dining outside. We are not going to the places. So if we can, if this year we can think about allocating few money for the people who are right now, who don't have any job right now, who are suffering from hunger. If we can, not necessarily through Mission Save Bangladesh, like any other platform, we can reach out those people. I think this is the time we should reflect on the words. Like you said, leadership is all about act. Leadership is all about respond to the crisis or respond to those situation. So this is a situational leadership. This is a time where actually we need to respond. We need to act. In different corporate events, in different leadership events, in summit, we talk about empathy. We talk about compassion. We talk about collaboration. So this is the time we should demonstrate that. This is the time we should reflect to the world that we are not only talkers, we are the doers. We talk about empathy, but now let's start. It's time about show empathy. It's time about reflect on our thinking. So this is the urge I like to put in front of the audience, Nowrid. And thank you, Nowrid, for arranging such a lovely and engaging conversation. And good to see you.
No problem, Tajdin. It was really, great to have you today. And honestly, I think personally, when I saw the Mission Save Bangladesh initiative, I wasn't sure, honestly, that how it will go. But the way it has grown, it motivates me and it strikes in my mind. And I think today, after I know this story, I think that's what we all understand, that it's all about your intention and interest, and how you respond to a particular situation. If you can respond to a particular situation, you can do anything. And this is one of the best examples what Mission Save Bangladesh has showed us. So thanks a lot, Tajdin bhai, and my best wishes to you and your team, and also my prayer and my love to all my countrymates. So I hope we all can fight together, and definitely we will win over this crisis, and definitely we will win.
Thank you, Nowrid. Inshallah, we will.
Inshallah. Thank you.
You
Thanks
stay
for
safe.
watching.
Take care. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.